Hi guys, I'm Rico and I'm a full stack web developer. I have a degree in economics from the Ateneo de Manila University. Before I became a web developer, I actually worked in management. So I had a career in management for around 5 years, and I decided to shift into the tech industry as a web developer, mostly because I got fascinated with building systems because I was trying to do that in my current job before. In my previous job before, I was making some pseudo web apps with Google Sheets and AppScript. So there was code, but there was no database, and I was the target of those memes that say Google Sheets is not a database. And so I studied web development for like a year, maybe 2 years before I decided to really just jump in. And before that, I took the Zuitt Bootcamp to like prepare me for the current tech stack, what people are doing. Uh, yeah, and after that, I made the jump to the tech industry, and I'm working now as a web developer. Took me, I think, a month before I was able to find a couple of jobs that would accept me. So there was onlinejobs.ph, there was LinkedIn. But my experience with like applying as a career shifter is that they'd always tell me, or they'd always mention that, okay, you only you have not you don't have a tech job in your CV. I've been working in the junior developer position for around 3 4 months. So they would be like, okay, you have 3 to 4 months experience. We're looking for someone with 1 to 2 years experience, somebody with a computer science degree, computer engineering degree. So for me, it wasn't that it was intimidating. It was just that I needed to be in the right mindset to be able to apply to a lot of jobs. Because one thing I realized was that being a tech career shifter, that means you're starting from scratch. And you're competing with other people who have already been working as web developers. And number two, you're competing with other people with computer science, computer engineering degrees. So those are the things that I experienced while applying for a job. But they weren't really like, okay, they were challenges for sure. But the key, I think, was to think of the application process as a numbers game. So for me personally, my metric is the conversion rate is 1%. If you apply to 100 jobs, you'll only get one offer. Like that's my calculation. That's what I expect. You should assume that you will be rejected unless they give you a job offer, because sobrang sakit mag-expect na tanggap ka na. Alam mo yun, yung parang, okay, ganito na yung magiging sahod ko, magiging web developer na ako in XYZ company. But you're only past like the initial interviews or the first two interviews or the technical interviews, and it's emotionally taxing to be rejected. Like, I got rejected like a couple of hundred times siguro. And that was difficult, but it's a thing. Ganun talaga eh. Going into it, I knew, like, kahit masakit siya, you parang, you'd experience the rejection. It wouldn't be like, alam ko na to. Hindi, masakit pa din siya. But parang I needed to get into the mindset or go back to the mindset that, okay, the conversion is 1%. I need to send out 100 applications. I'll be rejected 99 times, but I'll get one job offer. Like 6 p.m., okay, send out like 10 applications, send 20 applications. If you send 20 applications, 1% of that is like point something. So wala ka pang job offer if you send 20 applications. Yun yung parang mindset ko. So that's for me, that's what I told myself. Kasi it was emotionally taxing to get rejected. But the more you do it, I guess the easier it becomes. You begin to realize that this is just part of the process of applying, of career shifting. Career shifting isn't easy. It's a challenge, but it's something that you want to do. And yeah, I feel like Zuitt has prepared me for the actual job, for technical interviews, and the portfolio, etc. I found I found like two part-time job as well in onlinejobs.ph. So again, onlinejobs.ph, like send out applications, sige, send message mo lang sila, magaling ako. Parang that's what you have to do. You have to sell yourself. You have to tell them that you're the best goddamn web developer in the world. And you have to believe it. And you have to be able to deliver, of course. But yeah, so yun talaga. Parang You have to think, why is he gonna choose me? Parang ganun. So the best advice I would summarize in 6 letters. And it's easy to remember because it's alphabetical. So it's ABCDEF. So ABC means always be confident. Like, you always have to be confident in whatever you do. Like, if you've done the work, like, you have every right to be confident. And everybody needs to know that you can do what you were able to do. Diba? Iba yung alam mo yung kaya mo siyang gawin. I can do it. But do other people know that you can do it? You have to be able to tell them that, hey, I can do it. I'll probably make mistakes, but I can do it. You lose a lot of opportunities just by being not confident. You know, if you're not able to rise to the occasion and grab the opportunity and tell yourself, "Hey, I can do this," then you lose a lot of opportunities for growth. So that's number one. Always be confident. ABC pa din ulit is always be curious. Always ask yourself, because you're a career shifter, you're learning so many things at a very, very high rate. So you have to be able to ask yourself, oh, okay, anong ginagawa nito? What does this do? What if I do this? Will it break it? Parang ganon. So you have to be to be able to learn really, really fast. You have to be able to experiment and think outside of the box sometimes and ask yourself, oh, how does this work? You have to understand what you don't know. Like, you have to know that you don't know this, so you want to figure it out, or like, have a deeper understanding of it. So as a career shifter, that is one of your greatest assets: being curious, asking questions. Don't be afraid to be the stupidest person in the room, because that's actually an opportunity for you to grow. And so that's ABC: always be confident, always be curious. DEF is do expect failure, because as I said, if you write code 80% of the time, like, that's me, personal preference, 80% of the time your code will not work. So be prepared to fix it. Just don't make super bad mistakes that cost a lot of money. That's it. So set up an environment where if you fail, it costs the company or yourself like $0, because you don't want to be deleting the database of the users, of 1,000 users. But again, if you're learning, you're probably in a sandbox environment where you can fail, and that's okay. Parang they have a saying that says fail forward. The failure is a way of learning. Failure is the path to learning. And if you fail forward, you make a lot of mistakes, you learn a lot. So yeah. So I guess that's my message to the Zuitt bootcampers or career shifters in general, is that to always be curious, always be confident, and do expect failure.